In order to make sure that your brand is operating efficiently, there are a few methods you can use to determine whether you need to reevaluate your strategy. One such way is by checking the data and analytics of your social media. It can be tedious to do, especially when you're just starting out, but it is essential to be able to check the effectiveness of your personal branding. This presentation will inform you about the top 3 things you should be checking to make sure that your personal branding is reaching your target audience. 1. What comes up when you search for yourself? The first thing to check is the Google search results. What comes up when you look yourself up? Is it you? Look up any business names you have, as well as your own name. It is also worth searching for relevant keywords. First, do you even show up? If not, or if you're low in the results, it means you need to work on your SEO. More on this later. The lowdown. Why personal branding matters. This presentation will give you the lowdown on why you should care about your personal branding. You'll first discover what exactly personal branding is and then why it matters. It will then discuss why you should dedicate your time to precisely developing your personal branding. While it may seem like something that can be tedious to flesh out, personal branding is an essential part of business strategy and a key aspect of success. Basically, your personal branding is how you market yourself to be perceived by others. It is your public image and therefore needs to reflect your goals, and it needs to be consistent and positive across all platforms. Personal branding is, effectively, the impression that your audience will have of you, so naturally you want it to be a good one. Personal branding encompasses the distinctive combination of your assets, your education, your skills, your experiences, and your personality as you want your followers to see it. Your personal branding is unique to you and you only. Therefore, when creating your personal branding, you need to determine what makes you unique and use this to make yourself recognizable. Figure out exactly what makes you special and then capitalize on that. You should brand yourself around your strengths. The key to successful branding strategy is executing it in such a way that does not seem like you are marketing yourself at all. It is simply how you are. This is because consumers crave authenticity and credibility. You do not want to seem like a persona, just a person. There are so many unknown faceless accounts scattered across the internet. Use your branding to ensure you stand out from them. But why does personal branding matter? Is it not enough to just be out there? The answer, unfortunately, given the sheer quantity of brands that people interact with daily, is no. It pretty much boils down to whether or not you want to be successful. Since you presumably want an audience to sell yourself and your products to, personal branding matters. Personal branding helps to build and foster connection with your target audience. Having a good product or good content is of no relevance if you do not have the audience required for it to be successful. By positioning yourself as the expert in your area and creating a strong foundation for your branding, your audience will soon follow. Personal branding is essential to earning name recognition. Once your brand is out there, it is more likely to be successful when attached to a well-known name. Think of celebrities who release products. Would they be anywhere near as successful if they were not endorsed by someone who already has a huge platform, following, and brand? Having a personal branding strategy helps you stand out from the crowd. It is also a great way for you to have a personal connection with your audience. You can market yourself exactly towards their tastes and needs, making it easy for them to engage and interact with you. To conclude, having a good quality personal brand is the key to success in the 21st century. The top 5 benefits to building your personal branding strategy. Personal branding has numerous benefits. The quality of your branding is the make or break of your venture. Good personal branding helps you to build a strong following and maximize the potential of your target audience, and should be one of the first parts of outlining a business strategy for any serious entrepreneur. The idea that having a brand is something that is exclusive to the business world is an outdated belief. In this day and age, Everyone has a brand, and forming a good personal brand is the cornerstone of success. This presentation will share 5 of the top benefits of creating a good personal branding strategy. 1. The impression that good brands leave on audiences. People want the story behind a brand. They want to know the who, what, where, when, why, and how of you. Your audience wants to know why they should care about what you have to offer them, and building a strong brand makes it abundantly clear that you are the best of the best. The impression on your followers is everything and should be top of your mind. 2. It makes you credible. If you have good personal branding, it makes you seem confident and therefore credible. Potential audiences want to follow someone who is reliable and that they know they can trust. 3. Easy to find. If you have a brand, you are significantly easier to find in amongst all the jumble online. Do you have any idea how hard it would be to search for that guy doing that thing? You need to be easy for people to find you, or else they will just give up. Do not make it disorganized. Make sure that your usernames are all relevant and are all the same. If that is not possible, it is recommended that you make them really similar or try and find something else. For this reason, it is usually better that you try and claim all your usernames and profiles before committing to a brand. You also need to ensure that there are easy links between all your media pages. Play test them yourself too to make sure there are no error pages or broken links. It is also worth setting up contact pages. Your audience will want to interact with you, whether in a comment section or more privately by email. Give them options. 4. It is easier for branding to get featured or identified. Not only is it easier for exposure opportunities, but other people within the business to feature you and your work, it is easy for your audience to find your content specifically in their newsfeed or inbox. Having a brand helps you stand out. The ability to get featured in another person's content is the hallmark of strong branding. Other brands running profiles on you is a great way to grow your own audience. And strong branding makes you easily identifiable. 5. It will last. Businesses fail. Brands last. It keeps you in people's minds for longer than the time they spend looking at your content. When someone thinks of your niche, you want them to also think of you. Having strong personal branding is essential to remaining at the top of your audience's mind. Remaining top of mind is the goal of any business, and strong personal branding is the easiest way to achieve this and stand out from the crowd. The 3 most common mistakes made when building a personal branding strategy. In order to maximize the potential gains from your personal branding, you need to make sure you're not making these 3 common mistakes. In this presentation, you will learn about these really common mistakes and some easy ways to fix them. 1. Not defining or catering your content to your target audience. It cannot be stressed enough that you need to clearly define your target audience. By not committing to a target audience, rather than having the presumed intended goal of trying to appeal to more people, you could actually be alienating potential followers. You cannot appeal to everyone, and if you are trying to, you're likely damaging the relationship with your true target audience. For this reason, not only must you commit to a specific demographic of people, you must always cater your content to them. Use the media that they use. Use the language that they understand and engage with them in ways that they want to be engaged with. Your target audience is quite literally the make or break of your brand. If you're not reaching them, they cannot allow you to be successful. 2. Being inconsistent. Consistency is key in many areas. Consistency includes simple visual things such as using the same fonts and color schemes. These are such little signs of professionalism and attention to detail that shows that you are serious. However, being consistent also includes sharing content of a similar nature that your audience will engage with. This does not mean that you should not try new things. Of course you should, but it still needs to be consistent within itself. For example, having a constant posting schedule at times when your audience is often online. The quality of your content also needs to be high. If you're posting low-quality content at a high frequency, you will likely have low engagement. Put time into developing your content and share good quality content with your audience. Not only are they more likely to engage with something that is of a higher caliber, but it also signals that you are reputable and care about your audience. It is always worth checking the analytics across platforms too. What works on Twitter may not work on Facebook, for example, and you may need to slightly alter your content across platforms. 3. Being hard to find. Is the purpose of your brand hard to find? Does your audience instantly know what you are about and what you're trying to achieve? Are your account names weird and not relevant to your personal branding? Do you have your social media set up in such a manner that it is search engine optimized? There is so much stuff out there. There's a jumble of voices, content, and brands taking up space in the online sphere. For that reason, your content needs to stand out. Having a strong personal branding strategy will ensure that it does. Chances are other brands are targeting your audience too. Therefore, you need your audience to find you and want to choose you and not your competition. In essence, you need to choose your audience and then create content that they will find and then engage with. The success of your personal brand lies in your content and media being consistent and visible for your audience. The top 6 things to consider when choosing the target audience for your personal branding. The target audience is one of the most important parts of your personal branding strategy. In order for it to be successful, you need to fully understand your audience, their wants, needs, and what you can do for them. This presentation will outline the top things to consider when you choose the target audience for your personal branding. Fair warning, this will feature a load of rhetorical questions, and it is worth discovering the answers. You may need a pen. 1. Demographic. First and foremost, who is your target demographic? A key part of the marketing strategy is to understand your consumer exactly. 2. Desires. What do your audience want? Now that you have defined your audience's main traits, you need to determine what exactly they want. This could be in terms of products, content, and level of interaction they like with their brands. 3. Challenges. What difficulties do they face? What problems do they have that you can solve? Make them realize that something about their lives is missing or suboptimal and wrong. It sounds a little harsh and it can be a little confronting, but good business requires encouraging customers to solve problems that they did not even know they had. 4. How can you improve their lives? Use their desires and their challenges and tell your audience how you will improve their lives. Be strong and firm about this in your personal branding. Having strong and authoritative personal branding means that your audience will be intrigued and feel compelled to interact with your content. Everyone wants a better life. You have to show them that it is possible, and you're the one that will give it to them. 5. Which media do they frequent? Make sure that you are using the same media as your audience. If a tree falls in a forest, but everyone else is in a field, does anyone care? The short answer is no. Tailor your content to that specific media and show them that you are there. 6. How to speak to them. Would they respond better to a written form, a visual form, a video, a podcast? Whatever it is, use it. There are many different ways of communicating with audiences, so you need to choose the most appropriate. Language is also key. Use words, phrases, and speech patterns that are familiar and comforting to your audience. A huge part of your personal branding should show that you understand your target audience, and this includes speaking to them in such a way that they want to listen. One example of this is memes. How online is your audience? There is no point creating new content with the latest meme format if your audience will not understand it. They will just think that you're weird, plain and simple. To conclude, you need to have a complete picture of your target audience in order for your personal branding to be successful. You have to understand them completely in order to market to them effectively. Your branding needs to show that you are someone that your audience respects, enjoys, and wants to interact with in order to gain a loyal following. You need to share your content in places where not only will your audience see it, but they will want to engage and interact with it. Your personal branding has the power to achieve all this. You just have to ensure that it does, in such a manner that your audience will respect, appreciate, and trust you. The 3 most important things to define in your personal branding. When developing a personal brand, there are so many things to consider. Not all of these things are created equal, however. Often, the different elements of branding strategies supplement each other, and should one area be lacking, it will have a negative impact on the whole brand and its resulting level of success. Once the following 3 foundational aspects are clear, the rest of your personal branding will fit together nicely. This presentation will outline the 3 most important things that need to be crystal clear in order for your personal branding to be strong and successful. 1. First, you need to define your target audience. When asked who your target audience is, your response should not be, "Oh, we're not being too specific." It is applicable to as many people as possible. You should understand your audience as if it can be boiled down to one specific image of a person. You need to know them specifically to ensure that they will relate to your content and view you as a credible and trustworthy source of information. In order to attract your audience, you must not be afraid to turn other people away. 2. Second, you need to define what you can do for your target audience. Now that you know who your target demographic is, you need to narrow down what you're going to do for them. You need to understand them entirely and know how to target your content precisely to their needs, wants, and desires. You can have the best branding, but if it does not appeal to your audience, what's the point? This also means analyzing the media that your audience uses and targeting them to specifically using that in ways that they will understand and listen. Put your branding in front of your audience in such a way that they cannot resist engaging with you. 3. Have a clear message. You need to be clear about what your personal branding is and what it stands for. What is the overall message you want to convey, and why should your audience care about it? To help with this, refine and narrow down a simple version of your overall brand message to 25 words or less. What's more, do not sugarcoat it. What people want most in the world is to be told the truth. Now that you have your target audience, your goals, and your message, keep it in your mind. It can help to write them down somewhere as a constant visual of what you want to achieve. Once you have the 3 foundations to your personal branding, you can progress with the rest of your branding strategy. But like with the house, the whole thing will collapse if the foundation is done wrong. These pillars are imperative to the success of all personal brands and should be revisited often. Firstly, simply to remind you why you're doing what you're doing, and secondly, to make sure your content aligns with it. The 3 things you need to check to make sure your personal branding is reaching your target audience. In order to make sure that your brand is operating efficiently, there are a few methods you can use to determine whether you need to reevaluate your strategy. One such way is by checking the data and analytics of your social media. It can be tedious to do, especially when you're just starting out, but it is essential to be able to check the effectiveness of your personal branding. This presentation will inform you about the top 3 things you should be checking to make sure that your personal branding is reaching your target audience. 1. What comes up when you search for yourself? The first thing to check is the Google search results. What comes up when you look yourself up? Is it you? Look up any business names you have, as well as your own name. It is also worth searching for relevant keywords. First, do you even show up? If not, or if you're low in the results, it means you need to work on your SEO. More on this later. If you discover embarrassing pictures from middle school, or if you are tagged in controversial posts by a family member, make sure you delete them all. You do not want your past to impact the professionalism of your personal branding. It is also important to do this in incognito mode and after clearing search history and the cache so your previous browsing behavior does not impact it. 2. Search engine optimization. SEO. Search engine optimization is something that is often neglected. It is the easiest way to improve your searchability. Search for your personal brand and see what comes up. Consumers use keywords to find the things that they are searching for. You want it to be you. Check search results from different keywords and spellings. Update your SEO to better reflect the language people may use when searching for you. Hashtags are a great way to reach people who are not already engaged with your content. Spamming hashtags will not generate an engaged or authentic audience. Strategically using hashtags, in particular, hashtags that are popular but not flooded, is essential to gaining a bigger following. There are many third-party tools that can be used to search for the popularity of different hashtags to ensure your content gets discovered. 3. Analytics. Go through the analytics of your social media accounts. Check the demographics of your audience to make sure that it aligns with the actual target audience of your personal branding. If it does not, why is that? Your personal branding needs to reach the audience that it is targeted towards. Consider adjusting the type of content, the media type you're using, and the platform you're on. You should be checking the overall analytics and then looking into each of your posts specifically. Note down which are successful and which are not. You should then try to determine why. You need to also check the level of views in comparison to the level of interactions. Do you have a high audience but low engagement? Your online reputation is everything. Your personal branding may be theoretically impeccable, but if you're not reaching your audience, then it is wasted effort. It is worth setting time aside periodically to make sure you're on track to meet your business goals and your professional branding strategies are continuing to be effective. 4 easy ways to carry your brand into your everyday life and build your authenticity. In this day and age, people want the truth, and they want to interact with authentic people. There are so many scams out there. Do not let downfalls in your personal branding make you seem like one of them. By living your brand, it shows that your brand is not just some abstract concept created to make money. Behind the brand is a real person with real dreams. This presentation will share some simple and easy ways to incorporate your personal branding into your everyday life and improve your credibility. 1. You need to live your brand. Living your brand is essential. You need to embody your personal branding, so it does not come across as branding. It just seems like you. Given the sheer amount of content out there, it has become increasingly obvious who the fake brands are. Living your brand shows that you are real and authentic. It is not just a facade you put on for business purposes. 2. Dress well and appropriately. Clothing is a simple visual reflection of who you are. For this reason, your appearance does reflect on your brand. Ensuring you're well dressed is an easy way to portray the reputable brand you're trying to be. There is a reason that, in general, people are more likely to trust someone in a business suit than a tracksuit. By taking pride in your appearance, you are taking pride in your personal branding. It shows that you care and are confident in your personal branding, and your audience will soon follow suit. No pun intended. 3. Carry business cards. While this may seem like an antiquated aspect of business cards are associated with trust and status. Just make sure the design is consistent with your online branding. Add your social media handles, website, and contact information to make it easy for people to find you on their preferred platform. A unique thing to do would be to add a QR code so clients can be taken easily to your online presence. A business card is a physical reminder of you and your personal branding. Plus, it is much easier to forget a face than it is to lose a piece of paper. 4. Networking is key. Surround yourself with people who are similar to you, whether they have the same goals or lifestyle. By surrounding yourself with similar, like-minded, and equally authentic people, you are creating a network of contacts. Not only are you able to leverage new and exciting opportunities, you can also help and be helped by others. Other brands may be able to feature you and share your personal branding with their following, expanding your audience too. Your audience wants to believe that your life is achievable, so by networking with equally ambitious and qualified people, your personal branding becomes more credible and trustworthy. After all, celebrities usually end up friends with each other. To conclude, we have all been bombarded by websites that want us to prove that we are human by correctly identifying traffic lights. Your personal branding also needs to show that you are not a robot. Living your brand is the easiest way to show this. Carrying your personal branding into your everyday life is the easiest way to add consistency to your brand. Your personal branding is, in effect, your public image, which means it should be present in your everyday life too. The 3 simple things to incorporate into your personal branding. Personal branding and business planning can seem like really complicated endeavors to undertake, and truthfully, they can be. But that tends to occur when you neglect the essential groundwork. Skipping simple steps in the beginning can harm your personal branding and put you behind. It is important to remedy these mistakes as soon as you realize there are better ways to do things. This brief presentation will outline 3 simple yet important elements that need to be incorporated into your personal branding strategy immediately in order to level up your personal branding strategies and foster the growth of an engaged audience. 1. A clear message. You need to be clear and concise about what you want your personal branding to convey. If you seem conflicted about your message, your audience will be too. Do not try and overcomplicate it. A simple, clear message will yield better results than one that tries to tackle too much. To make sure you've nailed this step, it can be a good idea to really narrow down your branding to something very specific. Perhaps a list of keywords and concepts will help you visualize exactly what you want to achieve. Then, as you enact your business plans, go back to this list often. It will help you recenter yourself and really carve out your personal branding strategy. 2. Personality. Basically, your personal branding just needs to show that you're a real person. If you like jokes, tell jokes, assuming that they're funny, of course. Potential clients do not want to interact with a robot. They want to engage with a real person, which is what you are. No one likes those spam accounts with generic content, so please do not be one. People would rather see you as you are than be bored by a person who's trying to be a serious business professional in a boring gray suit. Figuratively, add on a quirky tie and show some personality. 3. Authenticity. Just be real with people. It is as simple as that. Audiences want to follow content that is realistic and achievable. They want to see people they admire living an authentic life. Social media is often called a highlight reel, where creators only share the high points of their life. While this is important to do, it is also essential that your content is real and reflects the life you portray in your branding. Authenticity can be infectious, and often audiences find it. It refreshes their mind and makes them believe in the brand. It adds credibility and builds trust with your audience. Cut all the excess and the drama and just be real and authentic. Potential clients do not want to interact with a brand that comes across as fake or, for lack of a better word, photoshopped. To summarize, the most important elements of personal branding can all come down to one sentence. Do not Photoshop a personality just to make a brand seem more appealing. Just be clear and real. It's as simple as that. With personal branding, you reap what you sow. The trust and energy you put into your branding will reflect back on your audience. By incorporating a clear message, a solid personality, and authenticity into your personal branding, you are creating opportunities for yourself and adding equity to your brand. Signs that your personal branding is not working for you and how to test it. Once you have defined your personal branding strategy, it can be tempting and easy to forget about it and move on with your business. However, it is imperative that you regularly assess the effectiveness of your personal branding, and this presentation will show you how. Before we start, it is pertinent to state that analytics can be confusing at first. There's no shame in being confused and overwhelmed to begin with, especially if data is not your thing. But once you take the time to understand them, you can make analytics work for you and your personal branding. 1. The search results for your brand are incomplete or mixed. Firstly, and simply, do some searching for yourself. Use different keywords, search engines, and do not forget to clear cache so that you're getting unbiased results. If you're not one of the top results, you need to reanalyze your SEO keywords and media types. Make sure that only things that are positively connected with your branding show up. This means deleting old content and pictures that may distract from the integrity and messaging of your personal branding. 2. The level of engagement with your content is low. Within many social media platforms, you can track where people are clicking, how long they're spending on a page, where they find your sites, and whether or not they engage with your content while they are there. For example, there is an impressions feature on tweets, so you can see how many people are seeing your content and what proportion of them are interacting with it. Instagram and Facebook have similar features to track the success of your content. You want your followers to not only be seeing, but also actively engaging with your content. 3. Audience is not growing, or is not growing effectively. If your follower numbers are remaining stagnant, you may have a content problem. Again, first check your interactions to see whether your followers are either seeing your content or engaging with it. A good first step is to be more active on your pages, whether it be posting more regularly or in different places or at different times of day, or more simply interacting with your followers more. Your target audience and followers are specific to your personal branding, so make sure that the content you are sharing speaks to them and gives them reason to speak to you. Using or reevaluating the hashtags you use is a good way to reach a wider audience, and you should check the popularity of different hashtags too. 4. Use the data you have just collected and change your strategy. Now that you have all this data, change your approach to close some of the gaps and run a campaign. The only way to check if your content is successfully reaching your audience and growing it is to run a new content campaign. You also need to effectively monitor its progress while taking into account the changes you made to your media use and your branding. The results may not be instant, but it is important to chart the relative success of different personal branding strategies. Did this make a difference? If it did, congratulations! You have successfully created an effective personal brand. Keep monitoring the data and stay ahead of the curve. If not, you may need to reevaluate your personal branding strategy. There is not a quick fix, and it may take some trial and error to perfect your media use. The 5 secrets to using social media for your brand. This presentation will let you in on 5 little-known secrets that will help you utilize social media effectively for your personal branding. Social media is one of the best and easiest tools to use, so make sure you're maximizing the potential of your personal branding with these simple fixes. 1. Make sure your audience can see you. You should have the best personal branding in the world, but if your target audience cannot find it, there is no point. An easy way to check whether your social media is reaching the right people is to check the analytical breakdown of your followers and make sure it matches your target demographic. Additionally, you want your personal branding to be recognizable, which means it needs to be cohesive across platforms. 2. Total engagement is more important than total followers. This is a classic case of quality over quantity. Having fewer active and engaged followers is better and more useful than having many followers who ignore your content. It is not just about having active followers. A huge mistake that many brands make is not interacting with your audience. Reply and interact with any comments, questions, or shares your posts receive. This immediately makes your personal branding more personable, accessible, relatable, and more credible, all of which are essential goals of branding strategy. 3. Do not overlook websites such as LinkedIn. Social media is not just about reaching potential customers and clients. It's also about building a network of people. Websites like LinkedIn can be useful in finding collaboration, mentoring, or opportunities that are not otherwise found. It is also worth setting up profiles on many different social media sites, even if they are not a primary area for you, just so that you have the correct usernames in case you ever change platforms. Just make sure you provide contact information and links to where you're more available. 4. Making sure your social media pages are connected and you're connected to them. Your clients need to be able to easily navigate from one page to another. Given how easy the internet has made things, people are often unwilling to put in the extra effort. They're more likely to just close the tab. This means that you need to ensure your website is up to date and mobile optimized, and your social media pages are connected. An easy way to do this on Instagram is to add a link tree to your bio that has a simple and complied list of everything anyone might need. Installing a contact page or section of a website is a great way to show that you are active and care about your clients. Of course, make sure you reply promptly. Plus, remember that social media pages such as Facebook show how responsive you are to messages. You want your brand to be seen as reliable, which means you need to be available to respond to any queries. 5. Search engine optimization is your best friend. Use it. While it can sound complicated, using search engine optimization is the best way to improve your social media traffic. It can be hard to get your head around at first, but taking the time to understand and then utilize SEO is an almost foolproof way to make your personal branding seen. By taking action in these 5 areas, you are unlocking potential and adding value to your personal branding. Remember, connect with your audience and they will connect with you.
Hello, and welcome to this course on LinkedIn marketing. In this course, we're going to cover how to increase your reach with organic LinkedIn marketing. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 is a brief overview of LinkedIn. Module 2 covers setting up and using a LinkedIn business account. And Module 3 covers leveraging personal profiles and groups. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively use LinkedIn for your business. So, without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will give a brief overview of LinkedIn. So, get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Okay guys, so let's get started with this LinkedIn overview. So LinkedIn is a professional networking site for people who want to make business connections, share their work experiences, and also find jobs. So LinkedIn is free, but they have a subscription version called LinkedIn Premium that offers additional features like online classes, seminars, and insights where you can see who is searching or viewing your profile. Alright, so now let's have a quick tour of LinkedIn. At the upper right side of your screen, you'll see the search bar. This is where you can search for people, jobs, companies, and so on to find network to connect with. Beside the search bar is the Home tab, which is basically the LinkedIn newsfeed equivalent of Facebook. This is where you can see posts from other LinkedIn users. And on the left-hand side panel, you will see a glimpse of your profile. It has your logo, your profile name, and a short description. You also have the number of connections, who's viewed your profile, your saved items, and the next section is about your recent searches, your groups, your events, and your followed hashtags. So you can minimize it just by clicking the arrow here. So you have the option to also start a post by sharing an image, a video, or sharing a document. You can also write an article. This is the equivalent of writing a blog. The next tab is the My Network tab. This is where you'll find existing people in your network. The first section is for any open invitation that you may have, followed by the section from people who you have mutual connections. We also have the trending pages of brands that you can follow, and the hashtags or keywords that you can follow. At the bottom part, you'll see more suggestions for you. So these are the people or groups that you can connect with. Let's talk about the next tab, which is the Jobs tab. So you can track your jobs and write your career interests here at the top part. And if you're looking for talents, or if you are a headhunter, you can post a job just by clicking this button, Post a Job, and you will be redirected to the job posting page. If you're interested to search for jobs, just type in the keyword or select from the suggested keywords here that will show up. Select a location and then hit the search button. So you will be redirected to the job listing. The next section shows job listing based on your profile. So these are the companies looking for talents that matches your qualifications or whatever specialization you have put on your profile. Now let's talk about the next tab, which is the messaging tab. Here you can chat with people in your network. You can also send messages to people outside your network using InMail. So InMail is one of the features that you can get when you subscribe to LinkedIn Premium. The next tab is the Notifications tab. This is where you'll see the activities of people in your network. Now let's check out the Profile tab. The Profile tab, once you click the drop-down button, shows you your logo, your profile. You have your account settings here, and you also have your job posting account here. So the View Profile will redirect you to your profile page. This is where you can showcase your brand and personality. You can add information just like what you would write in a resume. So include your background, your skills, accomplishments, and so on. You also have the option to request a recommendation from your connections here at the Additional Information option. You can also add your profile in another language so that local businesses can connect with you. Now let's have a quick look at how the profile page looks like from a visitor's perspective. So you'll see your cover image here. You also have your logo, your name, your current position, your location, the number of your connections. The next section is your About page, your dashboard, and then your experience, the skills and endorsements that you'd like to show your potential recruiter. The last tab is the Work tab. Once you click the Work tab, this is where you can see and explore other LinkedIn products such as learning, groups, SlideShare, and other business services that LinkedIn offer.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will cover setting up and using a LinkedIn business account. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright guys, so let's get started with actually using LinkedIn for business. Let's start first by creating a simple company page. Click the Work tab at the upper right corner of your screen, then scroll down to the option that says Create a Company Page. Once that's selected, you will be redirected to the Page Type option. So select the page type that you want to create. For this example, let's use small business. Once selected, we are now ready to input our page information. Type the company name. You'll notice that it automatically fills in the LinkedIn public URL. Next, type your website URL if you have one. Remember that having a website helps you establish credibility as a business. The next section is our company details. Select the appropriate industry for your business. Next, the company size, and then the company type. The last section is the logo and the company tagline field. Adding a company logo optimizes our LinkedIn page. According to recent LinkedIn data, companies with logos get 6 times more traffic on their page, so don't forget to add your logo. Once that's all set, tick the verification box and then click Create Page. This is how the admin page looks like. Let's explore the menus. The first menu has 4 tabs. We have the page, content suggestions. We also have the analytics and the activity tab. On the right side, you will see the admin tools where we can see the page admin options. This is where we can add people to manage our page. Next, we have the public URL where we can change our LinkedIn handle. Next, we can post a job as a page and create showcase page. We also have the option to deactivate our company page at the last part. The next section are reminders of what we need to accomplish for our page to be optimized. Remember that completed pages get 30% more traffic. So we still need to complete our location, and we also need to do our first post to increase engagement to our page. And the last one is we need to participate in topics by adding hashtags to our post. The next section is the overview of our company page. We have the cover photo, our logo, our company name, our tagline, and the link to our website. The next section is the analytics where we can see our visitors from trending articles that we have created. We have the followers, our post impressions, custom button clicks, and then the middle section is where we can start posting by uploading an image, a video, or a document. After that is the update section where we can see our activities. And then on the right, we have the community hashtags and also the featured groups. So groups are like meeting rooms or forums where people with similar interests can discuss topics they want to share or learn. Participating in groups allows you to showcase your expertise and grow your relationship with like-minded people. Now let's see how our page looks like from a member view. Click the button that says View as a Member at the upper right corner of your screen. And here is how it looks like. So there are 5 tabs on the left, and the center box has our page overview. Now that we have our company page, we are now ready to engage and make connections. The first step you can do is to invite your employees to follow your company's page. You can do this by sharing your personalized LinkedIn URL. Again, just go to Admin Tools, then click Public URL. You can simply copy this and share this to your employees. The next step is to post content. You can start by sharing news articles about your company or anything related to your industry. Let's do an example. I'll be posting this article about 12 digital marketing trends and innovations for 2020. Just copy the link and click Start Post. Paste the link. Replace it with a meaningful description. For example, check out Then don't forget to include your hashtags. Then click Post. Next, let's post a video. You can choose a video from your company's website, or you can choose a video content related to your industry. Remember, LinkedIn members spend 3 times more time watching videos compared to a static content. For example, I want to share this video. Just click again Start Post, paste the link, and then add a meaningful description. For example, more leads this 2020. And don't forget to include your hashtags, then click Post. Let's explore what other contents we can share on our page. I visited a page similar to my industry. We can share contents about our current promotion, our company and employee activities. Remember to limit your post to once every week. You can increase this once you gain more followers.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about leveraging personal profiles and groups. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's get started with how to use personal profiles and groups in your marketing efforts. Once you sign up for LinkedIn and create a profile, you can start to build a network of contacts. But remember to optimize your profile page. Let's look at an example. In our example, start by adding a professional photo of you. This is an opportunity to make a good impression. Use a high-resolution image and never upload a cropped photo. Next, add a cover photo. Think about a professional story that you want to tell your audience. Do not just pick a random image. Remember that anything that you put on your profile page can be a reflection of you or your brand. Next, we have the About section. This is your introduction card. You can write a short summary of your professional background and abilities to get noticed by potential business network. Aside from posts, we can increase engagement by writing articles and sharing our activities. This makes our profile interesting, and people are always drawn to stories. You can share all this information at the article section here. The last 2 sections you can use to collaborate are the skills and endorsements and the recommendation section. This is a great way to exchange ideas and interact with your network while building your profile credibility. Another way you can build connections is by adding people from your network. Networking doesn't only mean reaching out to cold strangers, but you can start from people you already know and trust. Check out your My Network tab for contacts you may already know. Lastly, let's talk about groups. Social media as we know it is changing. So instead of building huge public pages, more and more businesses are opting for niche closed communities. This is because group is a place where more meaningful content and discussions are given priority. To create a successful group, start by picking a topic that your audience cares about. Then, go to My Network tab, and then click the Groups tab on the left side. After that, click the Create a New Group button at the upper right side of the screen. Upload a cover photo and a group photo, then type in your group name, your group description, and your group rules. Finally, select the privacy type. Standard privacy type allows your group to appear on search results, while the unlisted type is a group by invitation only. Once all is set, click the Create button. This is how the group page looks like on the admin's page. You have the group information on the left box with the month and year it was created, the number of pending posts, and the member request, the option to manage a membership, and an option to edit the group details. The center box is where you can start a group conversation exclusive for members only. On the left side, you'll see the number of members and an option to invite additional members as well as the other group details. Now let's find a group to join. Let's use the search bar to find groups about digital marketing. Here are all the list of groups about marketing. You can see how detailed their group names are. Just below the group title, you'll see the number of members and the description of the group. Once you've decided to join a group, just click the Request to Join button and wait for the group admin to accept your request. Don't forget to read the group rules so as not to be kicked out from the group.
Hello and welcome to this course on LinkedIn advertising. In this course, we're going to cover how to increase your reach with LinkedIn. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 covers getting started with Campaign Manager. Module 2 covers creating the actual ad. And Module 3 covers targeting and budgets. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively use LinkedIn advertisements for your business. So without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will show you how to get started with Campaign Manager. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright, so let's get started with creating our Campaign Manager account. First of all, what is a Campaign Manager account and why would you want one? A Campaign Manager account gives you access to LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. The Campaign Manager tool will then allow you to create ads, like this, so you can advertise on LinkedIn. If you want to advertise on LinkedIn, you'll need a Campaign Manager account. You can think of it as an advertiser's account. Now, the cool thing about a Campaign Manager account is that it comes with a regular account. You don't need to create another account. You just need to log into your LinkedIn profile, as I did here. This is just an ordinary LinkedIn account. To create your Campaign Manager account, just click on Work, then Advertise. Since I am a new advertiser, LinkedIn needs some information before it can create my Campaign Manager account. The first is the account name, to help you identify this account, as you can create multiple ad accounts. The second one is the currency you will use. Take note that this is permanent. You cannot change it once you set it, so be careful. However, you can create a second ad account with a different currency if you plan to use multiple currencies. Finally, you can connect a LinkedIn page to your ad account, which is optional but highly recommended, as it allows your ad to appear in the newsfeed as sponsored content, like this one. But for now, I will not connect a page. Finish up by clicking on Create Account. So here's LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. If you've never used a similar tool before, it can look overwhelming. So let's break it down a bit. There are 3 main tabs. The first is Accounts, as you can have multiple ad accounts. The second is Campaigns, which you cannot access yet without selecting an ad account. The third is Ads. If you want to create another ad account, just click here on Create Account. Existing ad accounts will appear here. If you have a lot of ad accounts, this list will be more populated. Currently, I only have one. By hovering your cursor over the account name, you can either edit it or view its performance. Clicking on it will open up the Campaign Groups tab. Campaign groups are just a way for you to organize your campaigns. It can prevent things from getting out of hand. A campaign group can have different campaigns under it, and it's up to you on how you want to structure your various campaigns. Here you can find the group name, the status. Active means you have it enabled, but it's not running. It hasn't received a go signal from LinkedIn. Just hover your cursor in the small eye icon for more information. Here's the money you spent on advertising, using the currency you selected. The impressions, or how many times the ad has been viewed. Clicks, how many times have people clicked on the ad. The average click-through rate. Average cost per 1,000 impressions. Average CPC. And so on. Above, you'll find controls to drill down anything you want to find. So for example, I can just view data from the past 30 days, or from a specific range. And I can also sort the data in a descending or ascending manner. You can also export this data as a spreadsheet for further analysis. Just click on Export. Select the data you want and export. Think of these three tabs as zooming in, going from something generic to more specific. As previously mentioned, a campaign group will have one or more campaigns under it. A campaign will have one or more ads under it. Campaigns have the same controls as campaign groups. So again, you can sort by descending or ascending order. You can apply filters. You can select specific date ranges. And you can search by campaign name. And you can search by campaign name if you have a lot of campaigns. Ads are also pretty much the same, with more or less columns. Going up, you will find website demographics. This is similar to Google Analytics. It basically reveals statistics about your website. And like Google Analytics, you have to install something first before it becomes available. In this case, they're calling it the Insight tag. Beside the website demographics is the account assets. These are tools that are valuable to creating and managing ads on LinkedIn. And last but not least, the universal symbol for settings, the gear icon. Clicking on it will allow you to customize a few things relating to your account. Oh, and one final thing. You need a credit card to run ads on LinkedIn, as that is how you will pay them. And that's our short tour and overview of LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. In the next video, we'll be creating our first ad. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will cover creating the actual ad. So get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Let's start with creating an actual LinkedIn ad. So, from the Campaign Manager, click on Create Campaign here on the upper right, as everything starts with a campaign. Start by specifying where to group this campaign. Click on the pencil icon and choose where to put this under. Then give your campaign a good name. You don't want it to be Untitled Campaign, as it's not a descriptive title. Alright, the first thing you need to decide is the objective. What do you want to accomplish with this campaign? Is it awareness? Do you want more people to know about your business? Or is it traffic? Hits? Or maybe you want more leads or website conversions? This is a very important step, and I suggest you take some time before deciding, as this will be the overall goal of your campaign. You are telling LinkedIn how you want your campaign to be handled. But let's say I have a new business, and so currently no one knows about it, and I want some exposure. So I choose brand awareness. This is LinkedIn telling you how it will handle your campaign. Your campaign will be shown to people most likely to view your ads. That makes sense, as my objective is to get exposure for my new business. Next stop is audience. Who are the people I want to see my ad? So I click here in audiences, and I can select certain groups of people. So let's say my new business helps companies to hire the right candidates for their job openings. HR might be a good start. After I've selected my target audience, I have to choose a target location. This does not apply to all ads, but let's say my new business will only cater to the Asian market, so I choose Asia. I also have the option to exclude certain locations if needed. So for example, I don't want my ad to be shown in Latin America, so I make sure it's excluded. My ad is in English, so I don't have to change anything here. This is where you can be as detailed as you want. Who's your target audience? Who are the people you want to see your ad? Click on Narrow Audience further to target certain people. Here in Audience Attributes, you can target people based on their companies, demographics like age or gender, education, job experience, or interests. So let's say I want people working in HR to see my ad. So I click on Job Experience. Then I click on Job Titles and type HR and select HR Manager. These are also good suggestions, so I'm going to add them. You can see how powerful this tool is, as you can get as specific as you want. It's also a good idea to actually have your ideal audience in mind as you go through this. So for example, let's say I want clients who are from small to medium companies only. So I add another requirement. Aside from being in human resources, I also want people from small companies. So I click on Narrow Audience further again. Then company size, maybe 11 to 50, and then 51 to 200 employees. Again, I can exclude certain people if required. Enable audience expansion means you want LinkedIn to automatically extend your targeted audience if it cannot find enough people. It is recommended to keep this checked, as the more people your ad reaches, the better. If you plan to use this audience again for a future campaign, click on Save as Template so you don't have to repeat this step again. Before we continue with creating our ad, we need to talk about the types of ads that appear on LinkedIn. First is the sponsored content. This is an example of a sponsored ad, and it appears on the newsfeed. This is probably the most effective type of ad, as the chance of someone seeing it and consuming the ad is quite high. Second are text ads. These are ads in text form. Third are sponsored in-mail ads. These are ads that appear in your message inbox. Another effective type of an ad, as it is very direct. However, be careful, as we have been conditioned to ignore spam that appear in our inboxes, like email. Fourth are dynamic ads or customized ads. These ads will vary with each person. They are usually used for job recruiting and are quite personal. Fifth are display ads. They are ads in image form. Now that we know the various types of LinkedIn ads, we can continue making our ad. Ad format. This is where you choose what type of ad you want. It can be a single image ad, it can be a carousel, or a series of pictures, a video ad, or a video, a text ad, a spotlight ad, or a follower ad. These three types will show up in the newsfeed, while text ads are usually on the top or right of the website. So let's say I will create a single image ad. As mentioned in a previous video, certain types of ads require a LinkedIn company page. This is where you put in the URL of that page. Other ads like text ads do not require a company page. Do note that depending on the ad format, there will be features that are enabled or disabled, like in this case. So let's go back to a single image ad. We are almost done creating our ad, but let us take a break here, as that is a lot of information to digest. So thanks for watching, and in the next video, we will wrap things up and finish our LinkedIn ad. See you there.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about targeting and ad budgets. So get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Let's pick up from where we left off last time and continue making our ad. Placement. LinkedIn Audience Network. The LinkedIn Audience Network are places outside the website where your ad can appear. Third-party partners of LinkedIn. I would recommend leaving this checked, as I said before, the more people who see your ad, the better. Budget and schedule. Budget. A daily budget is how much are you willing to spend daily, while a total budget is how much they want to spend overall. This is totally up to personal preference, as I am not aware of your financial constraints for advertising. Schedule. It is recommended to choose the first option, run campaign continuously from start date. The second option is mostly used for promotions with a start and end date, like a 3-day sale for example. Bid type. The recommended setting is automatic bid, and let LinkedIn handle it. Conversion tracking. This is when you want to know how many conversions this ad got. How many people bought from your online store? How many people signed up for your newsletter? And so on. Then click on Next to go to the next page. Then click Save again. Now that we're done creating a campaign, it's time to add ads to this campaign. So click on Create New Ad. This is where you upload the image of your ad. So click on Upload Image and choose your ad. Type in an eye-catching headline, one that will make someone stop scrolling and read. Type in a corresponding description. Once you get their attention with a headline, follow it up and tell them what you want them to do. The destination URL is where you want someone to go after reading your ad. This usually points to your own website. On the right is the preview pane, where you get to see what your ad will look like. Click on the little circles below to see how your ad appears in other forms. Once you are happy with your ad, click on Create. If you want to create more ads, just click on Create New Ad here in the upper right corner. That second ad will appear beneath this first ad. You can also make changes to existing ads by clicking on the three dots here, as well as duplicate an ad, in case you want to make a similar ad with only few differences. On the right are the forecasted results. This is LinkedIn's best guess on how your ad will perform. From experience, this is about 90% accurate, so you can use this as a guide on what things to change in your ad for better results. When you're ready, click on Launch Campaign to publish your ad. And that is how you make a LinkedIn ad for your business. Again, thank you for watching, and I wish you success in advertising on LinkedIn.